Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I know I sure am. It is not overwhelmingly hot. It is a beautiful day out here in Indiana. Today, I am down at Funtown RV's PDI facility where they get some units ready to get shipped out to various locations across the country. And I'm gonna bust out probably about 9 2026 models. And this is one that really caught my eye. So this one in particular is the 2026 Sanibel 38LAUNDRY, and I'm sure, judging by the name, you can guess why. It is one of those new popular style of models that has a laundry room featured inside of the RV. Now, I have recently posted a couple different laundry room units, and each one has their own kind of unique twist to it. So I'm gonna make a profile, a playlist rather, down here, so that way you can click on that. You can probably see it in the top right of the screen, or you will at some point. But that way you can kind of pick and choose which ones are your favorite. Now this one, to me, has an amazing closet, but it has a spectacular living room. Big old L couch, everything you're gonna like. It's got 4 different slides. It's on a wide body construction, so you're gonna get a little bit more room. It's also, as you can see, you know, the fiberglass, aluminum frame, all of that. But you're also gonna see things like 3 different ACs. And the cool thing is 2 of them are the 18K chill cube, which they should all 3 be able to run at the same time, just because of the way they put off the power. So it's gonna be really nice for somebody that is living somewhere just a little bit warmer. And I'll tell you what, it is fantastic looking. I love the gold windows. I mean, look at that mirrored reflective finish. It's, I forget the actual name of it, but basically it kind of works like sunglasses. So it helps, you know, bust down some of the UV rays that's coming in. So it should theoretically be able to keep the camper a little bit cooler, but also keep your furniture standing up a little bit sharper. If you leave the window, you know, drawn up, it's not blasting down. But all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV, so that way you can go and check this bad boy out in person, or possibly just call and order it, you know, if you're ready to go. But dual axle, 3 ACs, you got a big old awning right here. Yeah, there's a lot to love on this thing, but I think you guys are gonna like it. If you don't mind, drop a comment. Really goes a long way to helping out me push out to new folks. But again, it's the 2026 Sanibel 38LAUNDRY, and I'm really curious to see what you think. Like right as you walk in, this is gonna be the door for your half bath and laundry room. We'll come and break that down here in a little bit. But you also have your bedroom, and then the closet bathroom combination behind that door is fantastic. If you're someone like my wife who likes to hoard more clothes than any human ever needs for camping, you know, it'll be perfect if you're living in the same reality that I am. But as you walk in, I think the decor is pretty darn nice. It's pretty neutral. You know, it's got kind of the two-tone where you have kind of the light and the dark mixed in as accents. But I love that L couch, and what I do like about it is the guys down at Sanibel, one thing that I will give them credit for is they think about things that other companies don't. So and the simple things, like both of these are going to be recliners, and that's going to be an extra spot for sleeping. In the other brands that I've done is typically it's just a pull-out sofa right there, and then it doesn't recline. Well, when I'm sitting down watching TV and kicking back, snuggling up with honey buns and having a good time, what I really want to do is kick my legs up and lean back and kind of just enjoy it. I'm a big recliner guy, and this allows you to do it. Plus, you can see if you have the grandkids over, the dual opposing slides really gives you the freedom for on a rainy day to not want to pull your hair out and, you know, just go absolutely bonkers. You have a lot of like working space, I would say, for like different board games, a pack and play for the grandkids, you know, things like that. But you're also going to get pretty cool things, you know, like this little stand right here, which, you know, you have all the appropriate plugins that you could need, the USB Universal C outlets there, but you also have a little cubby storage right there. Again, board games, blankets, things of that nature. Now, I'm going to be 6 feet tall, a big, beautiful RV loving man, maybe 6'1" with the old Birkenstocks on. And you can see you're at about, what'd you say, about 6'4", 6'5" or so for slide height. So you giants out there will have a good time with that. Each and every window does open up. You can see right now I've got the Dracula shades partway down, so you can kind of see that. But you can also tell from the windows, you can still see out. You get a little bit of a gold tint, but that mirrored reflective finish doesn't affect you seeing out, just stops people from seeing in. Huge TV. I mean, I'm going to guess probably 60, 65 inches off the top of my head, but again, that'll be in the description. And then, of course, your fireplace to keep you nice and a roasty and a toasty, you know, with a little Yamaha, baby. little Yamaha speaker, and those things get bumping. I had a JBL like one of those like 10 years ago, and the thing just went off. Now, another thing about this one in particular, you know, that I enjoy, and it just reminded me because this storage right here is pretty high up. This is soft close too, by the way. This storage right here is pretty high up. So for like me, I'd be grabbing everything out of this. But back in the kitchen, my wife wouldn't be able to do anything in some of the other models. But they actually disposition the handlebars a little bit lower, and everything is functional for a smaller person out there too. So I'll show you that here in just a second. Flush mount slide, meaning you're not going to be snagging your feet. They also did a good job of matching up the flooring of the slide with the flooring of the rest of the camper. So there's not a big eyesore there. But right over here, you're going to have your desk. I do not know if there's the ability to have an optional, another sofa or some recliners, but I'll make sure to find that out. I'll give the rep a call, you know, later on today, probably on the way home. Talk to them, let them know when this bad boy's about to drop. Hopefully get a little extra love from them. But again, the Dracula shade, these windows are going to be a little different than the other side. So these open up sideways for like a little bit of a breeze. And then over here, you're kind of back over to, never mind, sorry. You're back to that right there. And then the side one does open up. But again, USBs, universal Cs. You saw it has the 3 drawers that open. If you want to sit down, have some dinner, play some euchre, have yourself a good time, you have the ability to do that. No knee knockers there. And then you also get an extension that flips out there too as well. A little bit of cubbies right here, just so that way you're not wasting the space, which I think is nice. We'll see what's underneath this, because I don't think this refrigerator takes up all the space. So maybe there's something on the exterior. I didn't really do a check over on this, so I'm kind of learning this floor plan a little bit with you. 12-volt refrigerator. It looks like it's going to be an 18 cubic foot, which is going to be perfect for a week-long trip for 2, even with a grandkid or 2, or possibly, you know, like we have 4 kids, but if we only had the youngest, we would still be in the hunt for this model, because we could sleep her out here and it'd be a good time. But if you have 1 kid, you know, that'll be a week's worth of food. No problem. But this is what I'm talking about for the kitchen. So on the, what was it? The Cedar Creek I just did. Absolutely stunningly beautiful kitchen, okay? But all the storage was so high and the handles were so high that I just know that my wife would struggle with it. We'd have to get a little step stool for her to get up on top. And she's not exactly the smallest woman in terms of height. I mean, she's like 5'6", or she's 5'7", I think, 5'8", something like that. Anywhere between 5'6" and 5'8". I need to go home and measure. But, you know, babe, if you're watching, I love you. Don't roast me too much. But she can actually get into this. And speaking of loving you, babe, we got the solid surface countertops right there. You're also going to see, you know, you have a big old, more residential style oven. It's going to be the 4-top burner to whip up all the fixings, along with an oven big enough to cook up a turkey. You're also going to get cool little added touches, like a real tile backdrop as well, to help protect any of the splashing from what you're cooking. And then you got the vent, which I'm running on battery, so I guess that's not 12 volt, but when you're plugged in, it'll have light and a fan, and it's going to be, so that way you can push some of that stink out. I do like the spice rack right there. I think that's pretty cool. But you can see a lot of good storage there up underneath and above, which I think is really nice. You got the old TikTok sink, so you got the waterfall cup cleaner, soap dispenser, and of course the high-rise faucet. Hitting those dishes from all angles. Open this up, and you got really good compartmentalized storage right there, which is nice. And it goes all the way across too. So it's got kind of the beefy storage there. Little cutting board for you. Let's see what we got. Line guard. Let's see this. Air 360 Plus. Long range HD TV antenna. That's pretty cool. And then your gateway. So if you're not familiar with gateway, that's basically so that way you can get internet, call up like AT&T or Verizon, and you know, get chugging along, do a little bit of work on the road. You know, you got the desk to do it. You're good. For me, I'd be, you know, editing some videos. Yeah, but pretty darn cool. I mean, what do you guys think here about the back? And keep in mind too, again, you got the 18K chill cube, 18K chill cube. The nice thing about that is you're gonna see no ducting ran throughout the camper. So it has its plus and its minuses. One, it's kind of in the direction and it oscillates, and it kind of is what it is. So it'll really, it's not as evenly distributed at the very, very beginning. But then obviously once the camper cools down, you're good to go. The positive is there is way less holes cut into your camper. So, you know, we know how that goes. I mean, just in theory, there's just less things that can go wrong. It's just one central point. which is nice. And then you have the fan to help circulate it. And keep in mind, those 18K chill cubes, they'll cool down this camper on a day like today, 78 or so. It'll have this thing down to 70, you know, within like probably 10 minutes or so. They're really, really nice. And then in the front, it's ducted into the bedroom and bathroom. I'll show you that here in a second. So this is going to be your laundry room, aka the old half bath. Not too much to complain about there. You got the little fancy laundry room. They got Contour. What is that? The Contour. That's the, I think there's a, isn't there a clothing brand, Contour? Which is funny because you have a microwave and the clothing, or maybe it's a bird. I can't really remember. I'm not, they hired me because I'm friendly. Speaking of friendly, there's the bowling gun, baby. Contour. No, the bird's a condor. California condor. I don't know. Maybe drop a comment if you know that. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I review RVs. I don't have to know it all. I don't own a zoo. I don't own a zoo at all. So right here, you got a little place where you can flip that up. Matter of fact, I don't think I'm right about the clothing either. I think it's a California condor and then Contour. Was it Contour? I don't know what the clothing is. Porcelain foot flush thrown there. You can also check your tank levels. You got a little steamer stink fan that you can turn on so you can open the vent, suck it out, so that way the grandkids aren't ruining the rest of the camper for you. Fuse box is right in here, so I actually like having it in the laundry room. I think it's a pretty cool little disposition for that. But what do you guys think? If you guys have made it this far, if you don't mind, drop a comment. Going a little longer than usual here. Must be in a talkative mood. You got all your different lighting controls. I like how it's actually like the manual clicks for all the slides and whatnot. It's just easier. And on top of that, you don't have to worry. Again, it's keeping its simplicity works. So why mess with it? Tank heaters as well. So a lot of campers are coming with these days. But if you're not familiar with it, or if you're new to shopping, basically it's a 12-volt pad that goes onto the bottom of your tank. So on a day where it's like 35 degrees, 25 degrees, you kick those on, it'll keep your tanks from freezing. And then there's Suburban on-demand tankless hot water heater. Got a little couple floating steps right there, so you can do whatever you want to do with that. You know, cat litter, just whatever. Anything you drop, I'm sure will go right there. And then right here in the bedroom, you got yourself another little slide. So you got another fireplace, which is nice, and then a good place for a TV. But then you're also got a king-size bed here too, which is nice. And that natural light coming in is pretty fancy, but you can't really see in, again, because those mirrored reflective windows are nice. Each and every one of these windows does open up, and then you have the emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. You're also going to see exits on both left and the right side of the bed with a little ledge as well. Pretty good storage here up underneath. Nothing crazy, but you can definitely fit a ton of stuff there under the bed. Now, this is, I'm not sure if it's a 15K or a 13.5. I'm going to assume it's a 15K, but again, that'll be down in the description. You can either open up the dump valve, disproportionately push the cool air through the unit, or unlike in the living room, this is going to be ducted going back into your, yeah, it's got to be a 15K, back into your closet. So that'll be a good kind of more even distribution of, you know, power there. That's going to be where you can plug in your Wi-Fi if you want to get the gateway. 2 windows here. Again, they open up, a good place for a TV. And then you're also going to see the little cord thing that goes up underneath. So that way you can plug your TV in right there and kind of hide the cords. Again, another fireplace to keep you nice and roasty and toasty, and then similar storage over to the left. Your control for the heat and AC will be located right there on the wall. And then I love the fact that you get a separate door for the closet. So if one person just needs to hop in there, get a little privacy for whatever reason, you can, if that even made sense. Actually, I don't think I care about the door one way or the other, now that I think about it. I don't know why I said it. One-piece fiberglass shell for the shower. And then let's go ahead and climb up in there. It's also going to be the Tri-Glide glass series. So you notice how big old round belly right here got in there nice and easy. And then the height on this is like however tall my hand is, plus 6 foot, 6'1". So I'm thinking about 6'6", 6'7" or so right here. But you got a place where you can, you know, sit down, hike a leg up, do a little bit of shaving. And then I would change this. I got this baby little shower head right there. You know, it's okay, but that'd be the first thing that I would change. I'd get one of those fancy suckers. And then you got a place where you can put, yeah, you can, guess you can hold on there. Getting a little crazy down at the campground. You got a place for some soap. Another porcelain foot flush throne. And then the dual vanities. For whatever reason, the last couple videos I've posted, people aren't a big fan of the dual vanities. But I'll tell you what, I've got one in my house, and I almost couldn't go away from it. We love the darn thing. And then I love the backlight. It's another place, another mirror, another gun, baby. And then right there, bada bing, bada boom. Little mirror right there. Imagine at night, you coming in here, just want to do a little midnight brushing. You only turn on that backlight shining like justice. And then, whoo, I'll tell you what, my wife would have a field day in this closet. One, you got shelves for all of your shoes. I think I would get the bottom one. I'd probably get the bottom right, something like that. But I like how you have that area. You got hanging room with a dresser over here. So the top two are going to be this size. The bottom four are going to be that size, so just a hair bigger. And then you flip it around, and now you got places where they can kind of double stack the hangage action. And then the height in here too is no schlub. So again, you're probably looking at about 6'3" or so. And keep in mind, it is ducted from that bedroom AC. But all right, guys, I think that about wraps up the inside portion of the tour. Let's go see what this bad boy's got in terms of the outside. But again, it's the 2026 Sanibel 38 Laundry. And if you guys don't mind, on the march to 100,000 subscribers. So if you guys have a moment, if you guys are doing some shopping or value what I'm doing, subscribe or a comment would go a long way to helping out your boy. But all right, one more time. 2026 Sanibel 38 Laundry. And all the specs, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description. But I just think this brand looks really, really nice. And I think they changed the front cap for 26. I think it was darker in the 26, if I'm not mistaken, or in the 25s. But you have your electric leveling, so you can see the auto leveling down right there in the front. They did switch over to the Kurt Helix, so I think this is probably the least expensive brand in the country, probably with the Helix, because just about every other one would be like your Brinkley or your Alliance or something like that are just priced high. And these guys are going to be get a little snooty little feature right there. You also got yourself your docking light control will be right there, but then you have your storage here up front where you can see you got room for a whole bunch of stuff, including your spare tire. The heated and enclosed underbelly, so I don't need to show you that, but you remember that is basically those heating pads for your tanks. Dual propane with your switch over there. Actually, let's just show it to you. You got a drop frame right there too, so that's why you get this big storage right there, so that's nice. Shows off that aluminum frame construction right there. And it is not welded. It is going to be held on. Yep, it is welded in the corner, but then you got the rivets right there too, so that's interesting. That's a good little setup. Tire pressure monitoring receiver right there along with all the outlets. These are also going to be the slam latch doors too, which is nice. You got a little leash lock right there. And then these are the steps that flip up into the doorway. And then you have the friction hinge for the door. So on a windy day, it'll stay nice and open for you. You also have an expandable safe T-rail. Look at that. All right, that was pretty cool. Probably just for me. You got your dual axle. Again, the tire pressure monitoring system, that's gonna be nice for if you're driving down the road. It'll beep at you if your tire's getting like underinflated or overly hot or something like that. So that way you can pull over before it blows out, which is nice. Now, coming around the back of the camper, you are gonna see that you are prepped for a rear observation camera. So when you're driving down the road, you can see what's going on behind you with a distance marker. And then it does have a 300-pound hitch rating for your 2-inch receiver with a 4-way flat. And I don't know, I'm sorry, it's 150 pounds. So they could do a little bit better on that probably in the future. But heck, I mean, that'd be good for like a bike rack, something like that. Absolutely, no problemo. And then over here, you are eligible to put on the slide toppers on these if you'd like. So basically it's a piece of awning that goes from here to here, prevents debris from falling on top of your unit. This is also going to be a fully walkable roof too, by the way. Sewer outlet connection located right to there. And then one of your low point drains will be right there as well. And then as we flip it around, you got your sewer outlet connection. And let's open this bad boy up and see what we got behind door number 1. Yes, there's the back end of your pass-through storage. And then you got your docking station. So, you got your outside shower, so hot and cold water, your different bypass valves, and then of course your black tank flush and your city water connection there too as well. So pretty darn cool. You're also going to have the back end of your hot water heater right here. And then I'm thinking, battery? Yep, that's kind of cool. It's got a little hanging battery tray right there. And then your auto level control. And then of course, you know, your battery disconnect. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I hope to catch you guys next time. Again, my name is Hunter, and this is the 2026 Sanibel 38 Laundry. See ya. Shoot, doom, doom.